Welcome back to Inner World Podcast, where I, Liam Johnson, walk with you on a journey to explore inner depth, nurture wisdom, and develop a mindset for a life of intention. Today's topic is one of the most essential things that anyone, regardless of age or circumstances, should take time to reflect on: the root of life, science, religion, and morality. We are living in an age overwhelmed with information, but true understanding has become harder to find. People talk a lot about solutions, but rarely pause to ask what is really the problem. We talk about choosing schools, careers, professions, life, partners, but how many of us ask, what within me led to those choices? In today's episode, I want you to join me in returning to the beginning, not to find blame, but to reclaim ownership, not to regret the past, but to regain clarity and peace of mind when we understand the root of life. Because if we don't understand why we created today's results, how can we build better ones tomorrow? Together, we will trace every layer of the inner journey, from belief to thought to action to habit, to understand why a person makes a choice and how that choice leads to the life they live. Why start here? Because many people try to change their life results without ever touching the truth within. That's why even after reading many books, attending many seminars, and listening to many people, they still end up in the same circumstances, the same relationships, the same emotions. This episode will help you understand why, and from there you'll be able to make choices that are more accurate, more wise, more conscious. This is something I truly want to share with you because if I had known this sooner, I believe I could have done better in the past as the person I had the potential to be. And I believe this: when you change your belief, you can change your entire life. But how do you change belief? That I will show you step by step. At the end of this episode, I will reveal the most important point, the place where every choice, every character trait, every result begins. And if you grasp this, you will hold the key to transform your life from the root, from within. Stay until the end, because it may change the way you see yourself forever. And to begin the journey of exploring the inner world, perhaps the first thing, and also the one few people truly sit down to understand, is this: where are we looking at life from? You may be surprised to know that although each of us carries different personalities, circumstances, and experiences, there are three major perspectives that always coexist and silently shape how we interpret the world: science, religion or belief, and morality. These are not just three ways of seeing, but three foundations that build the entire system of beliefs, reactions, choices, and life outcomes of each person. Let's talk about the first perspective: science, the lens of analysis and logic. The scientific perspective tells us that every result has a cause. From health and finance to emotions, everything can be explained by natural laws, statistics, and data. Science has helped us understand that. If you stay up late, you will feel tired. If you consume too much sugar, you are more likely to get sick. If you invest without knowledge, the risk will be high. Here, everything follows cause and effect. And if you stay with this perspective long enough, you will learn to take responsibility. It's no longer, I'm unlucky, but I don't yet understand the rules. But one thing you must remember: science can tell you what is right and wrong, but not necessarily what you should or should not do. The second perspective, religion, the lens of faith and meaning. This perspective reminds us that not everything can be measured and proven. There are moments in life that you simply cannot explain. Why did I survive a serious accident? Why do good people suffer misfortune? Why does someone who prays daily find peace in the midst of chaos? Religion or belief may not offer scientific explanations, but it gives you something else of great value: meaning. In suffering, it gives you hope. In doubt, it gives you trust. In feeling lost, it shows you your roots. But if you live only by faith, sometimes you may overlook real causes and expect something outside to save you. The third perspective, morality, the lens of deep understanding and inner principles. Morality is not knowledge, but profound insight into how humans and life operate. You cannot learn morality from books. You must experience and reflect. The moral perspective will ask you, why are you choosing this? Is your action truly aligned with human nature? What you call success today, is it truly an achievement? Morality teaches that basically what comes to us, whether desirable or not, comes because it fits. Not because you deserve to be hurt, but because perhaps you unconsciously chose that path. Every matter in society can be explained through these three perspectives. The wonder is, none of them are completely right or wrong. Science helps you analyze and optimize. Religion helps you live with faith and meaning. Morality helps you gain insight and stay calm through all changes. A fulfilled person is one who can combine all three perspectives in every choice, reaction, and step. The issue is we often rely on just one perspective to form our views. Some trust only in science and deny emotions. Some follow only faith and forget to act. Some live by morality but cannot express it to loved ones. Pause and ask yourself, so today, through which lens are you viewing life? Are you explaining everything with logic and forgetting the heart needs to be heard? Are you living by faith but not taking concrete actions? Are you wondering why you keep repeating old mistakes without ever looking at the cause within? Remember this: the root of life begins with me, but it is not my fault. Because every choice is the result of a chain of thoughts, beliefs, habits, and inner images. If you begin to look through these three perspectives, you will no longer merely react to life. You will start to consciously transform it. So after realizing that life is shaped by three perspectives, science, religion, and morality, the next question we need to ask is this: how can we proactively change our lives from the root? And today we choose to begin from the scientific perspective, because this is the language that many people today find most accessible. Science is not rigid. On the contrary, when understood correctly, it becomes an honest companion, reflecting what is truly happening within us. Science teaches that nothing happens by chance. Every result has a cause, and if you are living in a certain result, whether it is health, career, or relationships, then the first thing you should do is not to change the result, but to trace back the cause, because the seed you plant determines the fruit you harvest. If I ask you, are you in good health, or are you satisfied with your current job, you would have an immediate answer. But if I added, what created that result? Not everyone could answer right away. Here I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. Isn't it true that your life today is the direct outcome of your past choices? Not just decisions, but conscious choices. Why this word, because the word choices implies awareness, intention, and responsibility. It is not just choosing between two meals, but each time you choose something, you plant a seed, a cause into your life. And you know what life does not differentiate between big or small seeds. If planted, they will sprout. You may not see anything today, but one day the result will come. Result is the mirror of choice. We are living in a result, right this very moment. The result is present. Are you happy or lonely? That is a result. Are you healthy or tired? That is a result. Are you living true to yourself or not? That too is a result. The result does not lie. It is the most honest record of the choices you have made, whether you remember them or not. And one of the most common traps for humans is this: we tend to take credit when the result is good and blame when the result is not. I once said the root of life begins with me, but it is not my fault. Why is that? Because at the moment you made that choice, you believed it was the best one. If you had known better, you would have chosen differently. But that does not change the fact that you were the one who chose. From a scientific point of view, if you want to change a result, you must go back and find the exact cause that created it. And that cause usually does not lie with others or with circumstances, but within yourself. From this scientific lens, there is no judgment. It does not say you are good or bad. It simply states, you made that choice, and this is the logical consequence of that choice. Examples. You choose to stay up late every night, science gives you a tired body. If you choose to eat without balance, your body will respond accordingly. You choose to avoid conflict in a relationship, one day distance will arise. Every action, no matter how small, is a choice. And the chain of those choices forms your entire current life circumstances. You may ask me, if everything is my choice, then am I responsible for everything? No, not responsible to blame, but responsible to regain the power to change your life. When you blame others, you lose power. But when you say, I made that choice, you are also saying, I can choose differently starting today. And this is the spirit that Inner World Podcast always aims to inspire, helping you not only understand yourself, but also reclaim your life through deeper awareness. Because true freedom begins with awareness. So, where do choices come from? This is a fascinating part we will explore more deeply in the next sections. But let me offer this hint. No one chooses something they feel is unsuitable or unpleasant. We choose what feels right. We choose what feels comfortable. But what feels right today may be the product of a system of beliefs, habits, and inner images that were planted long ago without our awareness. And when you start asking, why did I choose this? Am I choosing from reflex or from understanding? Then you are stepping into a true transformation journey. And in the next part, we will peel back each inner layer, from action to habit, habit to character, character to belief and mental image, to understand why people choose the way they do. Because only when you understand why you choose, can you truly choose again freely. Stay with me. What's coming next will be a turning point in awareness for those who truly want to change results from the root. And when you understand that today's results are the direct consequence of past choices, you will also begin to see a clear truth. Every choice, no matter how small, contributes to the shaping of destiny. We do not become healthy in a day, just as we do not lose our health from one meal. We do not build a great relationship through a few loving words, nor do we lose it from a single argument. But each time we choose love, each time we choose silence, each time we choose to continue or to walk away, all are silent bricks building the road of life. Many people look at a result and say, "I was born this way," or "I just happened to face that situation." But they forget that it is not one moment that creates a result, but hundreds or thousands of small choices that led them to where they are. And the interesting thing is, when the result is positive, our inner world tends to take credit as if we created it. We proudly say, "I worked hard, I made the effort." But when the result is unfavorable, our inner world easily finds reasons. It's because of that person. It's due to the situation. I didn't want it this way. This is the mind's natural defense mechanism. It protects us from immediate pain. But without awareness, it becomes a cycle of avoiding responsibility. And if you continue to live that way, you will lose the most precious thing, the power to change your own destiny. Remember this: the root of life begins with me, but it is not my fault. This statement carries great power, the power of liberation. It is not self-blame, but a reminder of your power to choose. That every action you take, every thought you hold, every reaction you choose, is building a part of your destiny. Why is it not my fault? Because, as we said, at the moment you made that choice, you believed it was the best one. If you had a different understanding, you would have chosen differently. So what you need is not self-criticism, but to upgrade your awareness so you can choose differently from today. Every choice is powerful, no matter how small. Many people think I haven't made any major choices. But do you know? One choice to ignore an apology can open up years of distance. One choice to wake up late can cause you to miss an opportunity. One choice to procrastinate can lead to losing yourself. And on the other hand, one choice to be patient can save a relationship. One choice to remain silent can preserve peace. One choice to rise up can change your whole life. We cannot always control circumstances, but we can always control our choices. And through them, we control our destiny over time. And choices must be trained. Choices are not sudden inspirations. They are the result of a trained inner world. If you want to choose with clarity, you must train yourself to observe. If you want to choose calmness, you must train your mind to remain still through emotional waves. If you want to choose love, you must develop understanding and forgiveness. Choice is a skill, and fortunately it can be learned, practiced, and mastered. And that is why I believe what you are hearing on Inner World Podcast is not just for understanding, but for applying to your life to make it better. If you have ever chosen to go astray, act impulsively, or avoid situations, it's okay, because each new day gives you the chance to choose again. All you have to do is pause, reflect, and ask, what result is my choice today leading me to? Is it truly aligned with what I deeply desire? Remember, no choice is meaningless. Every time you choose, it is either a step forward or a step back. Every day you are going somewhere. The question is, do you know where you are going? And in the next section, we will go even deeper into the foundation of all choices: character, habits, beliefs, and inner imagery. Because if you change from the inside, your choices will automatically change, and the results will follow you. I often tell my friends that you cannot change the result if you keep thinking the same way. But today I want you to go one step further. You cannot change the result if you do not understand where it came from. And here is the origin sequence we need to seriously remember. Image creates belief. Belief forms thought. Thought leads to action. Action forms habit. Habit builds character. Character creates choice. And from that choice, result is made. A closed loop cycle, but not immutable. And only when you understand each link can you unravel unwanted results and build a life as you wish. Start with image. Where does everything begin? Not from action, not from thought, but from the image in your mind. The images you repeat over and over in your head. Imagine you see someone successful, happy, free. If you see yourself in that vision, you will begin to believe you can do it too. But if in your mind you still imagine yourself small, inferior, afraid, then everything that follows will collapse accordingly. That is why at Inner World Podcast, we not only talk about mindset, but also guide you to recreate your inner image, because that is the true starting point of all transformation. Energy creates belief, belief shapes thought. From inner images, humans begin to form belief. And you know this, you never act beyond the level of belief you hold. If you believe you are not capable, you will always avoid opportunities. If you believe life is unfair, you will lose motivation to strive. If you believe others always have bad intentions, you will never open your heart to connect. Belief, whether positive or negative, has equal power. It will direct your thoughts, shape your focus, and create your daily thinking habits. Repeated thoughts become actions. You cannot have a different life if you keep thinking like yesterday. But not every thought has power. Only repeated thoughts become actions. And what is worth noting, thoughts without action become doubt, and inconsistent action becomes fatigue. Therefore, you need to nurture healthy thoughts, repeat them daily, and put them into action even in small ways. A simple action like getting out of bed 10 minutes earlier, if repeated, will lead you to results beyond expectation. Action for habits. Habits create character. Habits do not come by themselves. They come from your chosen actions, done again and again, deepened. Good habits result from a series of persistent choices. Bad habits arise from times you compromise with yourself. And then over time, you will find yourself responding the same way to a situation. You call that character, but in fact, character is habit reinforced over years. You are hot-tempered not because you were born that way. You are hot-tempered because you have acted that way too many times. You are insecure not because of fate, but because you have lived in thoughts that have diminished you too long. Character creates choices, and choices create results. Return to our starting point: choice. A person with persevering character will choose to continue when facing difficulty. A person with sympathetic character will choose forgiveness instead of blame. A person with proactive character will choose action instead of complaining. And when your choices change, you cannot avoid seeing the result change gradually. If you want to change the result, do not only focus on action, go backward to the image. Or more specifically, go backward through this chain. To change result, change choice. To change choice, change character. To change character, change habit. To change habit, change action. To change action, change thought. To change thought, change belief. And to change belief, you must change the image in your mind. Your result today is not a miracle, nor a catastrophe. It is logic. And the miracle is this logic can be changed if you change the first cause, your inner image. This is the Origin Life formula. Using this formula, you can predict results. And when you can predict results, you will know how to create them and achieve great outcomes. You never imagined reflect on this formula. It will help you get what you desire. In the next section, I will go deeper with you on the concept belief, the core factor that makes thoughts move or stop, that causes actions to happen or delay. I once asked my companions a question. Have you ever wanted something deeply but ended up not achieving it? Some said, I want to be happy, but why do I keep suffering? Others said, I want to be wealthy, but why is it still a struggle? And I told them what I want to tell you today. You never live by what you want. You live exactly by what you believe. We have learned thought, action, habit, character, choice, result. But do not forget, thought is determined by belief. Someone once said, I believe 80% that I will succeed. And I replied then, the remaining 20% will destroy everything. Because belief does not function like a probability percentage. There is no 70% believe, 30% doubt, then expect a complete result. Like a balloon, if it has a small hole, it deflates quickly. And like a glass of clean water, if it has one drop of contaminated water, the whole glass is no longer pure. Belief must be 100%. Either you believe fully, or you are deceiving yourself. Sinner belief always wins over conscious desire. I know you want good things. Who does not? Want health. Want peace. Want genuine love. Want a worthy career. But notice, this wanting alone is never enough. Some want to be healthy but believe their body is weak by birth. Some want love but believe they are not worthy. Some want self-development but believe they are too late. And what happens, even the best conscious desire inside you, if your inner belief is opposite the result, will reflect that belief. Inner belief always wins. Not because it is more correct, but because it is the truest thing. When belief and desire conflict, chaos. Imagine two horses pulling a cart, one forward, one backward. The cart stays still, and the person on it is tired. That is your image when belief and desire are not aligned. You can read all the books you like, listen to all the encouragement you want, but if inside you do not believe you are worthy, do not believe you can do it, do not believe you can change, then you are living in conflict. And like opposing streams, you lose energy, joy, and direction. Remember forever, there is no problem belief. This is one statement I believe is the guiding principle of every transformation journey. No problem, only belief. It sounds too simple, but try looking deeply into your life. Do you call money lack a money problem? Or do you not believe you can create value? You call marriage issues a marriage problem? Or do you not believe in your ability to connect authentically? Do you call health issues a health problem? Or do you not believe that your body can heal itself with proper care? Every problem you see is an invitation to examine your belief. True transformation begins with belief. Because only when you believe differently do you act differently. And only when you act differently do you get different results. Belief, it is the energy operating all areas of life. A startup project gets investment not because of current profit, but because of belief about the future. A stock price rises not because of financial reality, but because of market belief. A child develops not because of IQ, but because of the belief adults place in them. So, if belief can do all that, what do you think will happen when you begin to believe in yourself? Dear friend, I, Liam Johnson, did not come here to paint you a pink picture. I came to show you that you are holding the brush. And if you want a different painting, you must start with the background color belief. In the next section, I will explore with you how to shift belief, how to align inner belief with conscious desire, how to ensure your inner image no longer betrays your aspiration. And when you understand how to master belief, you will become the author of your own destiny. You know, everything does not start with action, nor entirely with thought. It begins with image. No image in your mind, then you have no future to reach. And what I have learned over many years is, nothing is more powerful than a clear image in your mind, and nothing is more dangerous than a vague image you do not even realize you carry. You will live exactly as you imagine, no more, no less. Why start with image? Because it is the only thing belief can see. Belief is an invisible energy state, but it cannot form without a specific image to anchor it. You believe you can be healthy. In your mind, you must see yourself healthy, calm, energetic. You believe you are worthy of love. In your mind, you must see yourself giving and receiving love sincerely. No image, no emotion. No emotion, no belief. No belief, no action. No action, no result. So when we manage mental imagery, we take control of the wheel of our life. Some ask me, I imagine success, so what? And I say, you are not imagining. You are reprogramming your brain to recognize a new template. Neuroscience shows the brain does not distinguish between what you imagine and what you really experience. Meaning, if you imagine clearly, deeply, repeatedly, your nervous system will react as if it is actually happening. See, believe, act, and result arrives. That is why you do not need to see to believe. You need to believe to see. But before belief, you need imagination to give you something to believe. Every great invention began with an image in someone's mind. The first airplane was a human dream to fly. A modern city began as a rough sketch by an architect. Even the situation you are living is the outcome of countless images you have fostered. It's an image about love. You see someone and think, they will betray. You will choose someone untrustworthy. An image about money. You think money is hard to earn. You will choose a job that is always lacking. Everything starts with an image. So if you want to change the result, do not rush to change actions. Change the image in your head. How does image create the future? Remember the logic chain of life. Emigrant from belief, thought, action, habit, character, choice, result. And what starts that chain? Not advice from others, not circumstances, but the image you hold in your mind every day. The question is, what image are you holding? An image of yourself weak, an image of yourself always failing, or an image of a person who can rise, learn, and move on. If you do not have that image, begin creating it. To manage mental imagery. Step 1. Filter inputs. What you read, hear, watch every day becomes material for your inner images. So ask yourself, this is building what image in me? Step 2. Repeat desired image. Write, draw, visualize your ideal self each morning and night. The image must be clear, emotional, and repeated. Step 3. Remove old images. When you notice a negative thought, stop, breathe deep, and replace it with a new image. Step 4. Supportive environment. Surround yourself with people, spaces, and content that reinforce the image you are building. You do not need to know what will happen tomorrow if today you know what image you are seeding in your mind. I, Liam Johnson, share this not because I have answers for everything, but because I know when you have the right tool, you can find every answer yourself. And managing mental imagery is one of the most powerful tools. Because in the end, what you see in your mind is what you will walk into in life. And if you want a different future, the first image you need to change is the image of yourself. Dear friend, if you have listened until this very moment, then perhaps something inside you is already beginning to shift. Not because of me, but because of you who had the courage to pause, reflect, and enter into a conversation with your own inner world. You see, life is not just what happens on the outside, but how you imagine, believe, think, and choose from within. And that in itself will naturally shape the destiny you live today and the one you will live tomorrow. In today's episode, I only hope you pause for a moment and ask, if what I just heard could awaken me, could it possibly reach someone out there who truly needs it? If the answer is yes, then share this video as a gift, not for me, but for those you care about. Subscribe to Inner World Podcast, because every day we are devoted to bringing you profound and practical wisdom so you can live not only successfully, but deeply and peacefully. And if you click like, let it be a sign that I have truly received this and want to continue the journey of transformation. Because you know, life does not change when you hear something inspiring. It only changes when you live with it long enough, real enough, and deeply enough. See you on the next journeys, where we continue to return within so that we may step out into a completely different world. With authentic awareness and intentional living. I am Liam Johnson from Inner World Podcast. And we will meet again, deeper, more truthfully, from within your own inner world.